All right, let's go on YouTube. Yeah, I'm currently like 8 weeks out. And my situation's a little weird. I've accidentally applied for a USAPL membership because if you guys did not know, I am a dual citizen. I need the international USAPL membership because I'm also Canadian. I didn't realize that would mess me up. So I'm in process of figuring out what to do next because I'm required to do a USAPL meet with like a 4 something dots meet requirement. But if I'm an international lifter, I think it's any sanctioned meet with 500 dots. I'm IPF 500 dots lifter plus, so I definitely qualify for that. I do qualify regardless. Maybe I'm just being a little paranoid, but I should probably get on that. And by January 20 something, I might just buy another membership for the international membership and then apply anyways and see what they say. I forgot to add that I'm also competing at the 100 kg weight class. So typically my previous meet that I had in May and even like Canadian deadlift national record that I hit like 4 years ago at this point, which is crazy. I think actually it's turning 5 years, 4.5 years at this point. I always compete at 93 kg, and usually in your powerlifting career you have to go up in weight. Now a lot of you do not know this, but I am pretty tall for the 93 kg weight class. I'm 205 on meet day, but I'm 6'1", 6'0.75 inches. And typically you won't see anyone above the 5'10 mark at 93 kg. I think around that 5'10 is like the upper end of being tall for that weight class. So it was just about time that I found the perfect weight class. Now, because I am power building and I refuse to eat and get fat and unhealthy, to put some numbers on my lifts, I decided to do the 100 kg weight class, which is perfect because now I could actually eat into a meet. The first time I ever had to eat in a meet. I'm trying to eat a bit more, so I'll probably fill at around 219 right before the meet. And that just changes everything because I never got to feel fully recovered for a meet prep. Now, knock on wood, because I don't want to say that I'm going to hit something ridiculous and then perform worse than my previous meets. It's just to say that I think the likelihood of doing better is there. Now, granted, my squat and deadlift, I don't know where I really lie. So this session I'm going to be hitting today is kind of to indicate where I'm at in training based on how they move. So yeah, today I'm gonna move up to like an RP 7.5 to 8 and we'll see where that goes. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. This is gonna be epic. Everyone's been doing this trend, so I just posted this on my story. I just thought I'd share this because it's kind of funny. So there's this trend where you post how you looked from 2016 to now. When I was in 2016, I was locked in the same amount that I'm locked in now. 10 years difference. People are like, yo, bro, you look freaking young. You sound young. Like, oh, thanks. You know what that's from? That's from not blasting a year. That's from keeping a healthy diet. That's from staying locked in, not cheating on meals, and overall just like actually living the lifestyle that I'm preaching. There's a difference between passion. There's a difference between having a passion and making money. I'm doing this because I'm passionate about this stuff. I want to help people. I want to inspire people and to help as many people as I can, which is why I decided to pick up the camera in the first place. I saw other influencers do the same. Brandon Harding, Christian Guzman. And I think sharing the journey is super important at this point. So this is why I decided to bring up the camera and just start the vlog, partly from the inspiration of watching those guys. This does have real impact. I want to make positive content. I want to make content that inspires other people. And I want to have focus on the right things in this industry. So, because at the end of the day, it's not about the numbers. It's not about the physique. It's about the connections we make. It's about the journey. It's about the excitement. Because for us, like, whether I deadlift like 700 pounds, 800 pounds, whatever the number is, it's just a number. And the impact it has to me is like not that much, but for someone else watching, it's like, wow, I didn't even know that was achievable. I want to follow this pathway because it looks like something I would want to entertain. And to have that moment is where it makes it all worth it. Because as you've seen, I've been doing this shit for like 10 years. I've been lifting heavy for 10 years. My body's not broken. I feel amazing. I have no problems with my joints, my back, or anything. I don't take steroids. I'm presumably very healthy. So yeah, stay natty, train hard, train at powerlifting goals. Well, this is awkward. I just filmed myself making this pre-workout, but I'm taking the bulk pre from Transfer Labs, not sim-free. I take this on my tertiary, secondary days. The main days, I'm taking bulk because the main difference between these two is the caffeine. I used to go crazy on the caffeine and stims, but recently I found that less is more. The thing I'm trying to dial in as well is trying to make sure I'm not too bloated, specifically on deadlifts, and to make sure my nutrition's time where I'm only eating foods 2 hours before training and make sure I'm eating enough carbs. So if I'm gonna eat carbs, it's gonna be stuff like this where it's very easy to digest and on the stomach. But I'm eating like a big meal. You don't wanna mess with your stomach before training, otherwise you can get like diarrhea or feel bloated and keep burping your session, which is gonna ruin potentially your top set. So that could really mess up your prep. Just to be smart, make sure you're eating safe foods, know your body well. No foods aren't gonna mess you up. And thankfully this pre-workout does not give me the shits like the other pre's do. And the flavor, pineapple coconut, sounds weird. It actually slaps. Transfer Labs, Code JUSTLEE, 10% off. Very few pre-workouts are actually safe for my stomach. Thankfully this is. And I'm sponsored by them, so. So in the last year, a couple of powerlifting gyms have opened up, and that's actually amazing. I've never really trained with kilos fully, and so in this prep, I said, why not? Let's go in full powerlifting mode and actually train kilos and see what we could add on to our total. And just based on the squat session, it was a good move that I decided to take initiative and actually start squatting on kilo plates because it makes a huge difference. Feels like hell lifting off the rack, but once you get into motion, you don't get that bar whip. Now I'm also still kind of recovering from like a minor tweak in my lower back / upper glute. It's nothing serious, so I kept this quote unquote RP7 I was going for in this session pretty conservative, and here it is.
I can't take no loss, my team hold no L's, no. Aiming for the top, can't make it by myself. I ain't taking no loss.
So 567 moved really freaking well, better than RP7, but I want to be a little bit slow on the pacing of this meet prep just for my lower back. I want to tell you a story about why I want to compete. So it's obvious I lost some passion for powerlifting in the last couple of years, which is why I haven't been that interested in competing. This lack of interest inversely was related to my increase in interest with hypertrophy training, which is why I decided to go on such a long hypertrophy break. And it started for about 2 years at this point from the last time I competed at a national level in Nationals BC 2023, and which, to be honest, I felt more in the headspace of a content creator than actually wanting to compete in powerlifting, doing it for myself. Which I will urge you, in powerlifting, you have to be competing for the right reasons, and if you're not, do not compete. And because I did not compete for the right reasons in Nats 2023, I overshot my lifts in training, I undertrained and had a really lean physique, made weight on competition, and performed 5 of 9 lifts, which is not great, to be honest. And as a content creator, this kind of demotivated me from wanting to pursue powerlifting further. So a couple of years later, I decided I'll do this bulk, I'll get really big, and I'll try to get really strong to train heavy and build a lot of strength and size under this fat pad. Massive mistake. Gave me body dysmorphia. I did get a stronger squat, but I didn't really get much stronger on the bench press, and I didn't get much stronger on the deadlift. I wanted to make my 105 kg debut at that point, but the main thing that held me back was I did get injured in my lower back from pushing things too hard. And so at the end of 2024, I decided to just cut throughout, travel a bit with the Young LA events, and kind of just be a little bit more present with where I'm at while still focusing on content and hypertrophy focused driven content with a little bit of powerlifting, in which I did make a lot of solid gains. And I don't regret taking time off because this led me into 2025 when I traveled to the Arnold, Ohio last year. So when you enter the Arnold, which is the biggest fitness expo in the world, you're surrounded by every single niche in fitness. Every single influencer is going to be there that's serious about influencing. Every single serious athlete in their domain will probably be there as well. And so while I was there, I walked around the venue and there was one thing that kind of drew my attention towards. As you can guess it was a powerlifting stage. The USAPL powerlifting stage. It kind of gave me the goosebumps. It reminded me of my time in 2021 provincials when I had the time of my life, when I competed, and remembered that all this powerlifting stuff is not that important. Yet not being so stressed and just kind of going in with a good headspace and killing your meet is like the most important thing. Even if you had a garbage meet like myself going 5 for 9, if you have the right mindset, it does not matter. It's simply just more fuel for your next meet, to be honest. Kind of like ignited something in me again. So after the Arnold, I kind of mentally got ready to do a meet, and that's why I decided to do that meet in May. But in this meet prep, it was really a test to see if I still got it, right? I know physicals is probably not much of a difference, which is why I was considering like, okay, if I can get like XYZ, I'll be happy. And to be honest, I did exceed my expectation. I was thinking if I can get within 10 pounds my deadlift PR, like below it, I'd be really happy. But obviously I was undershooting. But the real test was a mental test to see if I still had that spark with the meet prep process and with the outcome of doing the meet and going through a meet. Because if you guys did not know, doing a meet, like on meet day, it's really stressful, but you have to learn to control the chaos. A lot of people fold under pressure and a lot of people don't make it through the meet. And it's hard to sugarcoat it, but it is definitely a high pressure environment because we spend weeks preparing for this thing. And simply not believing in yourself is like the biggest thing that can go wrong in a meet prep. When I was in Nats 2023, I was wondering if I still had that spark to believe in myself. That was the biggest thing that I didn't realize if I was capable in doing, because to be honest, I was so spread with trying to be a content creator and trying to be like a powerlifter, which is kind of the mistake I don't want to make again with the Arnold 2026. Like, even if I went 5 for 9 in this meet, it's not like I'm just going to be like, oh, I'm done with powerlifting. I'm just going to pivot and do something else for content. If anything, it's just going to make me double down and maintain what I stand for, which is powerlifting and training for aesthetics, feeling good and fit. And if things don't go well in the meet itself, I'll just have to take a step back and reevaluate what went wrong. And lastly, to end this video off, I also want to make this vlog style and journey progress to be one that people can reflect on for their own journeys and maybe motivate you guys to get into powerlifting, motivate you to get into natural bodybuilding, get into any sport where you can compete against yourself, to make you build that character in yourself, to figure out what do you want. Some people spend their entire lives not competing in anything and live these passive lives, passive jobs, and that's just sad. Not in a condescending way, but in a way where I think most people need to test themselves to realize that they're worthy of more. So on that note, use code JUSTLEE for Young LA. No, I'm kidding. I mean, I'm not really kidding. You can use the code if you want to support. But really, on that note, if you want to follow the journey, it'd mean a lot if you like, subscribe, and stay tuned with when I post in the future with this stuff. And if you appreciate this deep talk. Peace.